Almost live from our studios right here in Southern California. This is Yusuf Estes, and tonight, inshallah, God willing, and the creeks don't rise, we're going to have a super program for you tonight. Why? Well, guess what? Facebook and YouTube and who knows how much other social media out there, policies against people talking about COVID-19. Oh, I hope we're still on the air. Are we still on the air? On the social media? All right. Well, some of our folks are just tuning in right now that are guests on the program. They don't even know what we're doing. So I'm going to let them kind of catch up with us. So, as I was saying, social media has policies about people talking about the COVID-19. Shh. So if you go on a particular, I'm not going to say the name of the website, but you can go there and tube all you want to, but anyway, you can upload and try to get something and it isn't going to show, all right? Because unless you're a part of the mainstream or something, you can't put up stuff about the COVID-19. Really, not joking. All right, and that's a policy that they stand behind, as well as Facebook. Now, it's a little bit different on the Facebook. They offer, whenever you try to open up something, they'll offer you something right away and say, you could put this and you can put that and some references for you, which is nice. That really helps. But what about the case where you have qualified doctors that might hold a little bit different opinion about something than maybe the ones that they're supporting? And this is why exactly, guys, when you and I are talking about, well, we don't like the people burning the Qur'an or saying stuff about Muhammad and Salam, but at the same time, if you don't level the playing field, you're going to have a problem, because it has to be equal for everybody or else it's not going to work. So whenever they make a law about saying that, okay, you can say anything you want to, but you can't, then that's where we're going to have a problem. And that's going to be the topic of our general subjects that we're going to be talking about tonight, but especially updates about the COVID-19. And guess what? We do have our authorities. I'm not speaking of myself. I'm going to first introduce to you, all the way from Tampa, Florida, here's Dr. Ado. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're full of energy, Sheikh Yusuf. That's a beautiful thing, that everybody should get pumped up and get the same energy. Make it like viral.
Well, I'm from Texas, and they said I was full of something. Anyway, let's go to the next. Yeah, Let's go to the middle of the United States. I want to do that right now, and let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. Dr. Sultan, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you tonight?
Good to be on your show. I was wondering if your video is on, because I can see your name, but I can't see you.
A video, huh?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I just go ahead and push a bunch of buttons here, because I don't really know what I'm doing, and we don't have, this COVID-19 thing, everybody working out of their house and stuff. So they brought this stuff in and set it down, and I had to put it together, and it's whatever you do. They said, don't touch the red button. This one right over here. No, I'm not going to touch it. But don't touch the red phone either. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, we have one more. We're going to, Dr. Sultan, you know that we have a third guest tonight. Is that right?
Yes, I'm really excited to hear from her, our brother, sister, Emily. How are you, Dr. Emily?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Let's put her up here right away. There she is.
I can't see my picture. Do I have a picture?
Oh, well, you have a picture, but I started out by just introducing your name up there first. Now we'll put your picture right up there. And by the way, guys, this is a call-in show, so you guys can call in anytime, and the phone number is right on the screen. But I want to ask Sister Emily, tell us where you are. What part of the world are you in?
I am in Iowa, right on the Mississippi River.
Iowa?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, Iowa Egyptian means yes. So when you say Iowa for anything, that means yes.
Oh.
You know what? I was just about. I'm slow on the uptake, but yeah, that's one of my jokes. Anyway, I missed that one. Yeah.
I already told you this one, Sheikh, but I'll tell the audience and the doctors. You know, Iowa is 75% vowels and 100% awesome.
That's a good one.
75% vowels and 100% awesome. If I would have said it, I would have laughed. I know that for sure. Thank you, sister. We like that. Iowa. You know what? Between you can say Iowa and anywhere in the Arab countries, and they go, okay, he's on the same platform with us. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got somebody calling in. Let's see who it is.
Hello. Live show SH.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Sheikh. How are you?
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Tell everybody what your name is and where you're calling from.
Yes, brother, this is Waleed calling from Northern California. I spoke to you, I called 2-3 times in the past, so I just wanted to say Assalamu alaikum and then to your audience as well. I don't know if you have a live guest tonight today or not, but
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for calling in, Waleed. I'm sure that this really it starts our program out the right way, having people call in, because that's what we want to do. We want to always be able to talk about it. And I'll put that number up on the screen, 1-800-971-4383. Guys, call us. Waleed, you got a question for the doctors tonight? We have 3, count them, 3 excellent doctors with us tonight. And you can ask any question you want to about Islam, about the COVID virus, about how to lose weight, how to gain weight, how to, everything. We got everything.
No, Chef, Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, I'm in good shape. I mean, you know, I've been on 150 pounds the last 25 years. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. I admire your jokes, and I just want to give you my respect, and that's all I wanted to just say. Assalamu alaikum. That's all.
Barakallah fikum. Jazakallahu khairan. We love that. Waleed, where are you from originally?
Originally from Afghanistan. I was born in Afghanistan, but lived in Northern California for like the last 37 years. So
I have a good friend right here who is also named Waleed, and he is also from Afghanistan. And I guess everybody likes that name in Afghanistan. MashaAllah. Well, we got another caller. Let me take we got a caller from... All right. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right. We got, the one in... here we go. We got another caller right here. Okay, Salam alaikum. Wait a minute, I gotta push those buttons. Salam alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Hello? Salam alaikum.
Is this Yusuf Estes?
Yes, it is.
Hi, I've met you before at Masjid al-Salam. Dearborn.
Oh, in Dearborn, Michigan. All right. MashaAllah. When was that? About a year ago?
I think it was a year ago.
Okay. MashaAllah. What's your name?
Ahmad. Omar.
Omar? MashaAllah. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
A speech at Masjid al-Salam.
Yeah. Well, how about this? You got a question for the doctors tonight?
No. Should we take the vaccine or not?
Ah, that's a good question. Should we take the vaccine or?
I always study with this question.
How old is he?
Omar, how old are you?
11.
11 years old. Okay. But you know what? A lot of people are asking this question, especially Muslims. They're very Muslims, African Americans, all are concerned about this. Let me take another caller, and we'll get the answer for you right up. Stay watching, stay tuned, and stay guided. All right?
Bye.
All right. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Live show SH user.
All right.
You
I
have
gotta hit those buttons on there. I think I answered the phone. Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How you doing, brother?
MashaAllah. All right. I pushed the right buttons. Go ahead.
Yes. So I have a question. So basically, like, you know, I have a brother that I knew. He was a friend of mine. He used to go to the masjid all the time.
Okay.
He lived in the masjid, but he died. He died last 2 weeks ago, and I just saw him like a day before he died, and he died. So I have a question. Does Allah test you with death? He tests you with loss of property, and what's the third one that he tests us with?
All right. Okay. What is the question?
What does Allah test us with? He tests us with death. He tests us with loss of property, and what else does he test us with? Third one.
Okay. All right. That's a good question. Any other question?
I don't know.
Well, if you think of it, you can call us back.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. All right. We got two questions tonight.
I think for the young brother Omar from Michigan.
Let's start with. I'm gonna start with Dr. Adil, and I'm gonna ask him if we can. This takes time for me to switch out the pins when we got three here. Okay, there we go. Dr. Adil, if you will, tell us what is the dalil? What is the reason in Islam why we should be cautious about injecting something into our bodies, and then why should we or shouldn't we go for this?
Okay, this is absolutely a very good question, and we should verify anything you ingest. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Qur'an, "Kulu halalan tayyiban wa kulu washrabu." Whatever you eat or drink, it has to be pure and clean and wholesome and halal. So that's the rule, and because you don't want to have harm for anything you ingest or anything you eat or anything you drink or anything you may be injected with. So data has to be, confirming the safety and efficacy because, everything right now in medicine, it's a risk-benefit ratio. If the benefit outweighs the risk, go for it. If it's more risky than beneficial, then don't do it. And for the brother Omar in Michigan, young brother, go ahead and take the vaccine. I think you're a student in the school and you interact with people and so on. There is two ongoing trials with both Pfizer and Moderna about using for young children as well as maybe from like 6 years onwards. So we'll have more data. But it sounds like you're more close to the young adults age that you definitely have benefit, especially for those who go to school and interact with others.
All right.
There's another reason.
Okay, hold on. It takes time to switch the pins. Hold on, and okay, Dr. Sultan, go ahead.
Yeah, so as from the Islamic point of view, I think there's another very serious reason for us to be concerned about vaccination, and that is that some of these viral vaccines, especially, they grow on fetal cells. These are called MRC5 fetal cells. So we do not want to be injecting, first of all, fetuses are aborted. intentionally, and then the MRC's 5 cells taken out of them, and on that the virus has grown. So you're just killing one human being because abortion is illegal, in Islam. And then not only that, but you take those fetuses and then you grow cells on them, and then you inject fetuses. So that is the ethical, moral, and religious dilemma, that should you be using the products of fetal products. So that's another question. So how do you know if the vaccine has MRC5 in that? You have to ask the physician, or you have to read the label, or ask the manufacturer that it has MRC5 cells. It has. Legally, you can refuse to take vaccination because certain vaccinations are required, but if they are MRC, then legally and morally you can refuse to take them on ethical ground or religious ground.
The Catholic Church.
Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Hold on. This. I gotta switch it. Okay. There you go.
No problem. So the Catholic Church has brought that concern with the J&J vaccine and said it's immoral. It has because it brought from the dead, the tissues of a dead fetus that came from abortion, and abortion, of course, is in a way, unless it's therapeutic abortion or justified to save the mom's life or the baby's life, that would be like killing a soul, without justification. If it's just to want to get rid of the baby without any justification for the health or the life of the mom or the health of the life of the fetus. So that applies for the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, and had been brought and had a lot of discussions amongst all the people. But to make a very short, precise answer, the other two are safe. They comes with different technology altogether. They don't use the fetus tissue that comes from abortion. So that should be okay for the time being. There are more data coming on the younger population that we will know about. But for the other brother's question, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the one who just, for a friend of his who just passed away, you'll be tested in everything you have, and you're شيء من الخوف والجوع. This is Surah Al-Baqarah, with something from fear and hunger and loss of ومن الأموال والأنفس والثمرات, and money, and beloved friends, family members, loved ones, and thamarat, from whatever sustenance you have. And then at the end, the punchline is وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. The sabirin, those who persevere and steadfast and have rida, have satisfaction and acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those will have great tidings and have immense rewards, and which are endless.
So if we can sum it up by saying, I'm assuming I'm asking it as a question, can we sum that up by saying Allah can test us in everything, things that we perceive these things to be good, but it could still be a test as well as the bad things. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
The reference that I'm using is from the Qur'an, when Allah is talking about 2 verses back to back. And he starts with saying all about the good things that we give you. And you say, look at what my Lord has honored me with. This is Surah Al-Fajr. And look at how my Lord has honored me. But then whenever he tests him by taking away things of his daily provisions, his risk, etc., then he said, look how my Lord dishonors me, Ahanan. So, and then Allah answers this with 2 ways of saying no, like, no way, Jose, Kalla Balla, like that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Kalla. No, absolutely not. It's just. And, today...
Yeah, I got this from a brother from Egypt when I first came into Islam. He said, brother, is test.
That's your heavy Egyptianized accent, right?
I don't think I could pass for an Egyptian, but
There are two important updates that I wanted to from yesterday to follow up on it. Germany.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. We have a sister with us tonight, chill. And let me get her in here for this. I need for her to weigh in and talk about something here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Nope, that didn't work. Let me try another thing. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, well, maybe we won't have her on. Let's see.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't have a way to put you up there.
Well, you can listen to my
no,
voice.
that's Sister Kim. Let me put up Emily. There we go. Yeah. All right. Go ahead, sister.
Well, what do you want me to comment on? There's a couple of things there.
Well, just from what you heard, do you have a comment?
I think that you guys pretty much summed it up. But as far as the vaccine goes, well, the two that are available right now that are 2 shots, the Moderna and the Pfizer. I guess I don't understand. I thought that they were both mRNA vaccines, so they are not. It's not the entire virus that you're putting in the cell. You're putting the instructions for the proteins to build for the cells to build the spike proteins.
Dr. Idle, can you comment on that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine, they both are operating designed through mRNA technology, which basically help to enhance the immune body system and create antibodies that will, build the immunity against coronavirus. But and then two injections, 3 to 4 weeks apart. The other one is J&J. That's been the third one that just been approved by FDA with the emergency use authorization. It's a little, not as efficacious, as the other two.
Whoa! That's a $2 word now. Back up. Say whatever that is in simple language for folks like me.
Not as effective, but it's I think good enough to get some immunity and help to get the gap with the vaccination need with big volume. So that this is what's been driving force for the approval and the use of the J&J. It's a one-time injection. It doesn't need this big logistical problem when it comes to minus 20 or minus 70 degree. Has to be kept in that very super cold temperature. Like we just said, it's a different technology altogether where it grows on the cells. But ultimately, it leads to production of the antibodies, and that's how you can detect the immune system. It's good in severe cases. And right now, people said if you can get something, it's better than nothing. And for the time that we're going through pandemic and so on, everybody's trying to just to get some protection into the people's arms with this approval of the third one. But just to keep up with everybody's up to date, there are two important news yesterday.
Wait, hold it. You were just commenting about for the sister. I'm going to keep everything balanced out here tonight. Sister Emily, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, not at this time. I just have some psychiatry news about COVID.
Tell us something. We want to hear from you too. Come on. Get to work, girl. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple of different things. The thing is that with social isolation, that's it destroys a person, right? When you're in prison, the worst place that you can be is in solitary confinement, right?
You're telling the story. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyways, so
I worked in prison, so I have a different take on it.
Of isolation, social isolation, social distancing. And we've all had to be in our own bubbles. So there's been obviously people have been having more and more problems with their mental health. But actually, there's a study that just came out that has said that 1 in 5 people developed mental illness within 3 months of their COVID diagnosis. So it's not just the.
So is that 20%, sister?
They're healthy, but people are coming out of this COVID situation once they are, diagnosed. They have a new mental illness. 1 in 5 of them.
Okay, 20%, right?
Yep.
Wow. See how I can do that math right in my head with no help? Well, just a little calculator here, but I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so and then there's this thing called ICU psychosis that that happens with patients that have been in the ICU for a long time, or elderly people in the ICU that have that are not used to being in such a confined space, not being able to move around and being ventilated and all this stuff. But they're seeing that in younger people and with less time. And I can't remember what I was going to say about that because I'm a little off right now. But,
all right. It's your first time on the TV with the millions of people watching you, so I can understand.
Yeah,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So basically, you were talking about something about the psychosis of something. And I'm going to let my chair down a little bit. There we go. So.
Yeah. So patients that come out of the ICU, they are at about double risk of new mental illness.
All right.
At least. But that's just the most recent data. We've had a year of this, but now we're still collecting data. But they're.
Do you know what Islam, sister?
You know what? Aphasia, so I've got some issues going on.
Do you know what Islam says about prisons? What our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said about the prisons? Do you know what he said?
What?
He said, "Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir." Do you know what that means?
This life is prison for a believer, and
Jannah.
This life is
Jannah for kafir.
Heaven for the non-believer, or something like that.
Yeah, the paradise for the non-believers. You got that. Well, for a new Muslim, you're doing really good. Hello, you got the Arabic working for you, girl. All right. So the translation of the meaning is that this life that we all live in is literally a prison for the true believer. And then it is the paradise, the only paradise really, for the disbeliever. And a commentary about that comes from somebody who was, at the time of the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was going along with the Muslims to someplace, and he commented about that, and he said, look, I've got a terrible life, and this is that, and so how does this make any sense? Because, hey, I'm not living in a paradise. I'm giving you the essence of what he said. And then the commentator to him told him, hey, it'll be paradise compared to the hellfire. Yeah. What do you think about that, sister? Hello? Did I lose you?
Sorry, I muted myself. I didn't realize. What's that?
That's all right. I push all these buttons the wrong way, too. I have a lot of fun. Speaking of pushing buttons, it's time for me to push a button and put all of us in a resting mode and let everybody else see one of our special videos talking about, we don't do advertising, but we do love to share the message of Islam. And you can help us, guys. Pay attention. We'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned and stay guided with
Guidance TV.
Guidance TV.
See, she got that. Can you imagine it's our 10th anniversary? Guidance TV on the air for 10 years already. Wow. And we want to keep going and growing. And how you can do that, join us. Be part of what we are doing with Recite on TV, Bridge to Faith, Simple Reminders with Abu Hafsa, all of these great programs and more coming to you 24 hours a day, no commercials, no advertising, just pure Islam with Qur'an every hour, with reminders throughout the day what the Hadith teaches. These programs are the only collection coming to us here in America from America, and you can be part of it. Guide US TV. Keep it on. Keep it going. Keep it growing. Stay guided with Guidance TV. Can you imagine it's a... Alhamdulillah, I found the right button. Okay, we're back. And you're watching a live program coming to you all the way from our studios right here, actually around the corner from here. But anyway, alhamdulillah. So we've got 3 doctors with us tonight, talking with us. We've added a new doctor, Dr. Emily. Here she is right here. Salam alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum salam.
Well, when we were in the break, you were telling us that you forgot to eat. What?
Yeah, it's about 8:30 here, and I forgot to eat today.
You forgot all day long, huh?
Yeah.
What are you practicing for Ramadan?
Yeah, sure. It's just, I've been drinking a lot of water and coffee and stuff, so.
Okay, that's not fasting, though. All right,
No,
I
yeah,
got that.
yeah.
I can do
I
that
thought
all
I'd
day long.
start small, you know.
Yeah, there you go. And speaking of people drinking stuff, I just missed catching the Dr. Adol with his water bottle going over there. Yeah, let's bring him out here. Let's see if we can do that. There he is. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Adol.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah, mashallah. Tell us about Ramadan. We're just around the corner for that. What about the Shaban? Is there something in Islam about fasting in Shaban? What do you think about that?
Yes, Shaban is the beautiful month. We just finished the sacred month of Rajab that comes very, very distinguished. We know we have 4 sacred months on the Muslim calendar. Rajab comes along, but the other 3 with the Al-Qa'dah, Al-Hijjah, and Muharram. Now we have, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban wa ballighna Ramadan. Oh Allah, bless the month of Rajab and Sha'ban and extend our life to witness another Ramadan. The intervening month between Rajab and Ramadan is Sha'ban. The month of Sha'ban, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to fast more than any month throughout the year, with the exception of Ramadan, obviously, because it's 100%, from beginning to an end.
Yeah, it's mandatory. Shaban isn't, right? Is that right?
Yes. And Shaban, it kind of puts you in the mood, if you would. You think like you're in a spiritual gym, and every day, especially now, like today is Monday. Monday and Thursday, those are Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to fast, and then the 3 days in the lunar days, 13, 14, 15, of Shaban. Those are, a part of the sunnah. Just kind of get your stamina going, get your practice going. Obviously, you make sure that you have suhoor, because now with daylight saving time, you add 1 more hour to fasting. I'm sure everybody's no doubt that the day is longer than it did as of Sunday, last Sunday. So yesterday. So we need to make sure that we tank up on fluids, thirst quenchers, yogurt, cucumbers, dates, coffee. For those who'd like to do it, especially for those going through a little bit of withdrawal, coffee withdrawal in the first few days, caffeine withdrawal. It'll be a great opportunity for people to get off bad habits like smoking, hookah, all these things. Now we can start training and practice during the month of Shaban. So when Ramadan comes, you hit it running from day one. You're in good shape mentally, physically, and because you do all the extra prayers, the Tarawih prayer after Isha that lasts almost to 11:30 midnight, and then you go back home maybe for 3 hours or so, 4 hours. You get up again for suhoor, and then you go for Fajr, and then start the cycle. You read Qur'an as much as you can, and try to do the Qur'an reading, memorization as much as you can. Do good deeds as much as you can, charity. Just be on the dhikr of Allah. Ramadan, you feel like you're flying. You're not on the ground. You're spiritually very, very energized, as well as physically energized to do khair. It's a good feeling that everybody try to do it. And I know we have a lot of kids go through in universities and other places go to do fastathon, just to appreciate what God gave us. Sometimes when you have food all the time in your stomach, you don't appreciate what it is to be poor and hungry, and don't have that luxury of food and drink. So you thank God more, and you appreciate things that we took for granted. Last year, I know a lot of people are getting very emotional about this. Now, in the second season of Ramadan during pandemic, you don't take anything for granted. You don't take the masjid or Salatul Tarawih or Fajr and all that for granted, just like you don't take going to Mecca and Medina for Umrah and Hajj for granted. You gotta work hard for it, and you gotta earn it, and you gotta reconnect with Allah stronger than ever. So this is the month of Shaban, kind of getting into the Ramadan state of mind, and the more people are learning about Islam and interacting with Muslims and get to know, this is the best educational message. And everything that people do in Islam, even if they're not Muslim, they just copy, whether it's now the personal hygiene that showed with the COVID pandemic. If you just do like a Muslim do, wash hands, clean the nose, get rid of the sinus problems, get rid of infections, get rid of fungal infection in the toes when you wash the feet. You do the flushes in the bathroom. That helps to the personal hygiene. Same thing when it comes to like even just active prostration. When you put your heads on the ground, that actually improve the mechanics of the lung ventilation and prevent coronavirus from being able to attack the lower part of the lung, where they can go and form blood clots. So if you look at everything that goes into the Muslim lifestyle, and of course the halal food and so on, the eating, the wholesome eating that Dr. Sultan have talked about so many times, and we need to incorporate the healthy lifestyle of Islam and intermittent fasting, that becoming the hottest trend of health right now in the world, and to really the benefit of people, and what they choose to be Muslims or not, that's their decision, but at least recognize the benefits and take advantage of it for their own good. So hopefully people now start really getting into practicing and getting ready for Ramadan.
Yes, I hope they do. What are your plans?
I know that in the past few years, we used to have every weekend. They're just like basically packed with events and speakers and people from various organizations working around the globe and across the U.S. and relief and this and that. So it's very, very packed. With the khidmah, serve the food, clean up, making sure everybody, gets in and out safe. And some part of the local officials come and have iftar with us. the local cops, whoever helps with the traffic and so on, that they always have a meal and they love the food. So there's a lot of bridge building, a lot of community. So this is Ramadan. Ramadan is spiritually enriching.
I've
So
noticed that. I don't know if anybody else notices it, but it seems to me that in Ramadan, a lot of things work out good for the Muslims and non-Muslims as well. But maybe they don't notice that. What? Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if there's a sound for us or not, but
I'm just watching this.
I
The
just
live
got
chat.
I just got the word that from right here in our studio that there's no sound for Dr. Adel, but I don't know if that's affecting. I know what happened. I pushed the wrong button again. Ah, forgive me, doctor. That's my fault. I know what happened. I know what happened. Oh my God. And we could hear you just fine, but yeah. Oh my God.
May Allah help us all.
Well, yeah, well, you have to tell us again tomorrow because it's time for us to go now over to Dr. Sultan. Dr. Sultan, if we could get you to, yeah, there you go. You're looking good. Looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Sultan, we'd like for you to talk to us about a little bit about what are you planning for Ramadan? What's your idea? What are you planning with the COVID virus going on? Are you going to go anywhere or do anything? Or are you going to tell us? Go ahead.
Well, in this, like we did last year, last year the masjid was completely closed. So this time, hopefully masjid will be open, but I don't know how many people they will be accommodating because in Ramadan there are so many people that it's gets suffocating, and to accommodate Jummah, which is much less than what happened in month of Ramadan, what we are doing is we're having 3 salahs, for Jummah, and obviously for Tarawih we can't have 3. There's going to be only 1. So I assume there will be no more than 100 people being accommodated, and my assumption is Islamic Center has not announced any definite plans, but my assumption is first come, first served basis. When 100 people come in, they will just close it down. And as far as I'm concerned, I usually stick to my home. I have a fast early in the morning, get a fasting, all prayers and all the stuff, go to work and come home, and then it's the time for Iftari, and pretty much stay home. And now, because of COVID, I got to be more careful. And last year, we used to have a lot of Iftar parties, which last year was 0, which is, in one way I liked it because although, it is part of the Sunnah and part of the tradition to have Iftari, and Allah Ta'ala, reward people who assist in opening the fast. But I always had one contention because in our current times, people gather over there. There is more here and there thought, not a religious thought, but all the worldly affairs and wasting valuable time, which is supposed to be time for salah and dua and zikr, which is spent in worldly affairs. So I personally do not like to go for iftar just for that reason. But it's a part of a social event. You have to socialize with people. You have to have relations with people. That's also an important part. So I do it, but I try to minimize whatever the exposure over there is. So these are the things that we should keep in mind, that out of all the year, Ramadan is such a precious month that we should not be spending time in gossips and all other worldly talk, just as Arabic says, love talk, not involving a lot of stuff. So that's the way I look at and see how much I can spend most of the time in pleasing Allah Ta'ala.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me. Sister Emily, tell us about your fasting. What are you planning on doing?
Well, this will be my 4th Ramadan.
4 times? Oh my gosh, you're an expert by now, mashallah.
Yeah, I did my first one in right. Well, I converted. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, it'll be my 4th one, and I am going to see as far as COVID restrictions go. I'm going to try and connect with my local masjid. I've never been to one before. It's a long story, but so I'm going to see what their situation is. By that time, I'll be fully vaccinated. But, as the CDC's recommendations are that you can be with other unvaccinated people maskless, but you have to be in a small group. So I don't know what their plans are as far as limiting the attendance, and whether or not I want to take that away from people that have been missing it. I just want to be considerate of those members that have been coming there for a long time. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think that there is something, I saw this in Pakistan while I was visiting there, that the crowds that come out for the Jummah because every single male who's old enough to, even go to school, they want to take all of them. If they're not in school anyway. I was there in the summer, but if all of them, if you can imagine, all the people in your whole neighborhood are Muslim going to a place, so that's why that they have masajid on every single corner. And then you have people who will complain and say, well, we have too many masajid because look at when I go for the Fajr, it's only, one or two lines. But then they don't stop to think that the fact is that whenever anybody wants to go for Jummah, they have to go to the bigger masajid. And in that great big masjid, maybe you'll only have one line for Fajr because they've got so much space in there. But whenever it comes to Jummah, everybody wants to go to the masjid, especially in the month of Ramadan. So while I was there, anyway, I'm giving you too much background for this, but while I was there, one of the questions came from the sisters that we should tell the brothers. It wasn't really a question, it was an order. Tell the brothers to make room for us sisters. They fill up the prayer area for the women with men.
Wow.
Well, now what do you think? What comes to your mind right away? What do you think about that? All these men are out here taking up the space for
What are
the
they
women.
doing in the sisters area? That should be reserved for sisters.
See, that's what I wanted you to say. I wanted you to say that because that is the mentality that we have in the West. And that is bleeding over on the Muslims. But the fact is, the women are not ordered to go to the masjid.
Sure.
Only the men are ordered to go. And they have to go because it's in Surah 62, Surah Jummah, that the males have to go and they have to try to get there early, and they should try their best to get in the first lines. And even if they have to go late, that's the only way they can get there. Even catching one rak'ah, the last of the salat, they'll try anything, and they'll be outside, they'll be in the streets, you can't imagine, unless you've been there, to see all the people filling up the masajid. And I have seen that so many places, even here in the United States. But the women don't realize that they get the more reward at home. The Prophet ﷺ has told us that the women get more reward at home than they do in the masjid, but even more reward to pray in a private room, and even more room to pray, more reward to go behind a screen in that private room. In other words, they can get more reward even praying by themselves, where the brother has to go to the masjid and he gets more reward by being there early, more reward by getting in the first row. And so that is, now you understand, why would a woman want to go there and prevent a man from getting reward while she's losing rewards?
So that means that I have been getting a lot of rewards for the past 3 years.
Well, if you had the intention,
Yeah,
then
if you
said, I want to do that so that other people can go, yes, yeah, you have a lot of reward. But, the idea
that's what I'm saying when it comes to people at the local masjid. I don't think there's a lot of room in there. I've never been there. But it's I wouldn't want to take away a place for someone that has been yearning for that spot. That place has been, there haven't been it hasn't been filled to capacity since 2019. So I feel like it would be intrusive.
Well, now they have in our masjid here, no women are supposed to be going over there. And I don't know if they changed it, but the last summer I heard that I haven't been inside of a masjid since the pandemic started. And I know, but I have two reasons. Number one, I don't want to be a distraction to the other people, because they always get distracted at my masjid when I come in, and they always want to put a chair out for me. They want to, and now, alhamdulillah, I lost the weight, so I can pray standing up anyway. But I don't want to go through that and bother them with that. But the other reason is a personal reason, because I don't want to be a carrier obviously I don't want to catch the COVID-19, but I don't want to be a carrier of it either, because I have my son who has no immune system, and he had open heart operation for his very unique disease that he has called chronic leukopenia. Yeah, that's absence of the red cells or white cells. I can't remember.
Red cells.
White? Yeah. Their mother was the one that they did all the guinea pig stuff on in San Antonio, Texas, because she was one of the first. Dr. Britton was her attendant on that, and took care of her all of her up until she reached adulthood. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very unique kind of a disease, and that means they can get, like anybody else, get a little cough or sick or something like that, they get over it. No, he can go into very serious. I remember one time when we were in Virginia, we actually, I took him to the doctors. My wife's pushing me, he's coughing too much. Take him to the doctor, emergency room. I said, come on, yeah. But when I took him, they put him under right away, and they took him in, and right away, and when they found out he had open heart surgery, they said, yeah, what are you doing, man? And then they had pulled the curtain across, and I was sitting right outside there, and I heard them saying, we're losing him. And I'm like, what? And I went in there, and sure enough, they were trying to put what do you call the breathing thing? The ventilator on him. And he was fighting it, even though he wasn't even conscious. But I just went over to him and held his hand and whispered in his ear until he kind of calmed down. And then he was in a coma for, I think, 12 days or almost 2 weeks. Yeah. And guess what, sister? You're going to be the last speaker on here. So you got 10 seconds to say something good to everybody.
Oh goodness. I don't know what to say.
5, 4, 3.
Okay, well, I guess